Hello everyone, Max from the UFL here. Hope you're all having a great day. Today's episode, I'm going to go through this mock draft for the Seattle Kraken and see what the team's going to look like at the end, give my kind of opinion on it. It also shows options of who they're going to be picked because obviously they're the people they have to keep. So I'll also put in my own opinion as well if I don't agree with one. And just looking at this quickly, there's a couple that I don't agree with already. I did a video yesterday, of course, wearing this jersey. I like to switch it up, but I can't not wear my Seattle jersey. WHL, obviously not the Kraken jersey. That's going to be the uniform and logo for the Kraken. Although this is one of the coolest logos ever. Seattle Thunderbirds from the WHL, in case you didn't know. Hop right into it. We start with the Anaheim Ducks. And the options they have to pick from if they keep the players that are kept here are Henrique, Mahura, and Fleury. This guy has chosen that they'll pick Josh Mahura, and I honestly think they might take Hayden Fleury. He's still young. He's a big D-man and new scenery. He's actually doing quite well for Anaheim since he's got out of Carolina, kind of getting more minutes. So why not Seattle? Give him more minutes, try him out. But Josh Mahura, you can't go wrong. You're gonna get a defenseman either way. I don't think they take Henrique, so yeah, it's fair enough. I wouldn't change it. The Coyotes, they'll have Pitlick. I'm usually good with hockey names, but Capo Bianco, I hope is his name, Larson. And this guy has the pick as Tyler Pitlick, which is probably what's going to happen. Arizona just doesn't have much to choose from, especially when they're keeping Keller, Kessel, Smoltz, Dvorak, Garland, Krause, and Fisher, and that is definitely who they need to keep forward-wise. And then Ekman Larson, and if they didn't keep Chychrun, they'd be stupid. Although they have Darcy Kemper, don't they? I don't know. Maybe they take a goalie from him, maybe they don't, but Tyler Pitlick seems like a fair pick there. Boston Bruins, their options, Smith, Case, and Zaboral, and the pick is Jakob Zaboral. Was a first-round pick in that awful draft year for Boston. They had 3 first-rounders in a row, and the only thing that came from it is Jake DeBrusk. And the next 3 to go after that, I believe, were Barzal, Shabbat, and there was one more. It was bad, though. They could have had 3 amazing players. It was definitely Barzal, Shabbat, because I'm a Penguins fan, and the Islanders chose Barzal off the Pittsburgh Penguins pick, which to this day still has a dagger in me because I'm a Seattle Thunderbird fan, and that's where Matt Barzal played. I've seen him play lots in the WHL. I've never seen him play in the NHL, but I've seen a lot of games in Kamloops and Prince George, actually, for Matt Barzal. So Jakob Zaboral, I'll just keep it the same, although Andre Cass might be interesting as well, depending how many defense, because the Sabres, they also have another D-man going here. This guy has him picking Colin Miller, but their options being Gergensen, Tage Thompson, and Colin Miller. Do you want the vet D-man or do you want a young forward? Obviously, they're not crazy, but Gergensen's an all-star. He was an all-star once. Shouldn't have been, but he was an all-star. And then there's Tage Thompson, who's, I believe, 24 years old. So I'm not sure if they're going to take Colin Miller on that, although it is a smart pick for their defense because that would be like their veteran backbone there. Calgary Flames, their options being Backlund, Giordano, and Oscar, I believe it's Oliver Kylington. And this guy is them picking Mikael Backlund, but they also receive a second-round pick. So I would believe that is so they don't take Giordano and that they take Backlund. And Backlund's would be great on Seattle, I think. He plays a good two-way game, and I think he'd be a good second-line center for them. So yeah, I'm actually going to keep Mikael Backlund. And if they could get a second-round pick from that, why not? They're obviously going to want draft picks just like Vegas did. They're not going to be as good as Vegas, I don't think. But hey, I thought Vegas was going to be a bottom 5 team. everyone did. No one expected a 40-goal season out of William Karlsson or Marchessault to get 80 points, or even Eric Halla nearing 60 points. You can't tell me you expected that when their career highs were like 20. Carolina Hurricanes, Niederreiter, Gardner, and Shea being the options to pick. Brady Shea, I agree with that 100% because they'll keep Slavin, Pesse, and Bean, which, yep. Chicago Blackhawks, their options being DeHaan, Kampf, and Subban, and the pick will be Kelvin DeHaan. It's fair enough. It's a lot of defense off the board already. It's 1, 3. That's already 5 defensemen. So, probably going to get into the forwards here now. Never mind. Colorado Avalanche, their options being Donskoy, Graves, and Comfer. And their pick is Ryan Graves. It's a smart pick. I could also see them going Donskoy if they have enough defense. But yeah, I would choose Ryan Graves out of those 3. And the Columbus Blue Jackets, Stenlund, Carlson, and Kraken. And they have the pick being Dean Kukin, another defenseman. So this is like 7 defensemen already, and we're only on Columbus, and this is alphabetical. So Dallas Stars, you have options being Faska, Honka, and Kudobin. This pick is Anton Kudobin. You need a starting goalie, and to get Seattle, you're gonna sell out every single game, especially their inaugural season. You could put me in net, and they're going to sell out in Seattle. So Anton Khudobin's going to be a great starter for them. I think that's a smart, very smart pick, is to get that big starting goalie that's proven that he can be a starter. Detroit Red Wings, Svechnikov, not Andre, High-Rose, and DeJeus. The pick being Taro High-Rose, they say, although I think they'll probably go Evgeny Svechnikov on that one. I don't agree with that one. Edmonton Oilers, their options being Jones, Turris, and Legason. Don't take Turris. Is he still on that awful contract? I'm not sure if he's still on an $8 million contract or not, but if he is, stay far away. The guy is no longer any good. Not that he was really any good to begin with. Pick being Caleb Jones, another D-man. Out of those 3, you have to. Who the hell is it? Legeson. Florida Panthers. You have options being Nudivara, Noel Akari, and Dredger. The pick being Noel Akari, which I agree with. That's your best option there. The Kings, not that they're going to have much. Clegg, Grunstrom, and Quick. They have Cale Clegg being the pick, another defenseman. Don't agree with that. They're going to take Grunstrom. Yeah, they'll stay far away from Quick with Khudobin going in net. The Wild, they're going to get a good player from. The Wild are going to keep 4 defensemen. They're probably going to keep, they have to keep Suter. And then Spurgeon, Brodin, and Dumba. I believe they have to keep a couple of those guys as well. So it's going to be a 4 D-man keep, a 4 forward keep, and obviously being a rookie, they get to keep Kirill Kaprizov. So no worries about Kaprizov. Their options being Cam Talbot, because they're going to keep Kakinen. To this guy's opinion, after this season, I don't know though. Do you keep Cam Talbot? He's been unreal this season. But the options being Greenway, Soucy, and Talbot, and the pick being Jordan Greenway, which is your smartest pick there. He's young and he's big. Montreal Canadiens, you have Edmondson, Sherratt, and Allen. See, now this is 2 all-right defensemen that you could choose from. And then you also have Jake Allen. Who do you pick, though? And you really can't go wrong with any of the 3 picks. Sorry about that. It's just a YouTube image. This guy is picking Jake Allen, which would be a great backup goalie, so not gonna... Yeah. I'm not sure, but I'm just gonna let Jake Allen be. It's 3 solid players. Nashville Predators, their options being Johansson, Sissons, and Duchesne. This guy has them picking up Ryan Johansson. Seattle receives a 2021 first round pick and a 2022 third round pick is his opinion anyways. And if you could, anytime you get a free first, especially from Nashville, take it. Definitely take it. And then you have Ryan Johansson, which is a household name even if he's not that great anymore. You got the New Jersey Devils. You got Butcher, Merkley, and Andreas Johnson. This guy has them picking Andreas Johnson. And they have him picking Sagenhalter as a keeper and defenseman over Will Butcher. I don't see that happening whatsoever. I don't know. I could be wrong, but I think this guy is wrong. New York Islanders, you're going to have Bailey, Leddy, and Johnson available. You take Josh Bailey. You need that forward that everyone knows, and he can play that full two-way game. Josh Bailey's definitely going to be the pick if he is end up available, because this guy has him keeping Eberle, Nelson, and stuff like that. So if they... Gosh. That's a hard choice for the Islanders. Barzal, Lee, Nelson, Eberle, Pajot, Bavillier, and Bellows. This guy going to keep... Or do you keep Josh Bailey over one of those guys? I don't know. But if he's available, you take Josh Bailey. New York Rangers. Options: Rooney, Blackwell, and Howden. This guy has them choosing Julien Gauthier. It's not even on his option list there, so... But I would almost take a chance on Howden, but Julien Gauthier is probably the safer pick, so I'm not going to give him too much flack about that. Ottawa Senators, Logan Brown, Matt Murray, and Zaitsev are going to be available. Murray's contract is just way too much for what he gives, and they have them keeping Logan Brown, which is a solid pickup for Seattle. Philadelphia Flyers. I don't know if they're going to keep Aubrey Kubel over Van Riemsdyk, but this guy has the options being Voracek, Gostisbehere, and Van Riemsdyk, and this guy has them picking James Van Riemsdyk, and they'll also receive a 2022 second-round pick. If you can land that, then you take them. If not, I think you almost take the risk with Gostisbehere. I think you stay away from Voracek, though, for sure. Pittsburgh Penguins, your options are going to be Matheson, Lafferty, and Aston Reese. Being a Penguins fan, I know this team from top to bottom, and it's going to suck to lose Zach Aston Reese because he's literally probably one of the best fourth-line players in the game. So yeah, that is a really solid pickup for Seattle to help out their depth. So without a doubt, you take Zach Aston Reese. San Jose Sharks, Gambrell, Burns, and Jones is who they have as options, and they have him picking Dylan Gambrell. Burns is so long on that contract, and he's not getting any better, and he's getting older. So yeah, I agree with that. Don't take Burns just because of his name. The St. Louis Blues options: Barbashev, Fitzpatrick, Dunn, and this guy has him picking Vince Dunn. I could see it happening. Yeah, Vince, dude, that's easily the best pick there. Barbashev maybe, but Vince Dunn, you definitely do it. He's going to be on your top 4 D pairing out of all the other D-men I just listed so far. Tampa Bay Lightning, Ryan McDonough, Andre Palat, Tyler Johnson. So they're going to get a solid player out of Tampa Bay. Someone's going to lose a good player, some of these teams. And they have them picking Tyler Johnson, but they'll also get a 2022 first-round pick. 100% take that if you can get that. Who knows if they're... These pick things are just a speculation, so who knows if they're actually going to happen. Toronto Maple Leafs, options: Kerfoot, Engvall, Dermott, or Dermott, whatever you want to say it. Their pick is Alexander Kerfoot. I would take Dermott, but since all the defense that have already been picked, yeah, Kerfoot's a good choice, so I would also choose Kerfoot, because I can see where this guy's coming from. This one might change. Vancouver Canucks. Options: Holtby, Myers, Virtanen. This guy has them choosing Jake Virtanen. And if you look into the news at all, they're probably not going to take Jake Virtanen now. I'm not going to get into it, but he has sexual assault allegations against him right now. Not guilty, but he's also not innocent yet. We don't know. It's 50-50, but innocent until proven guilty. So I'm not going to say anything more about it, but I don't think they take Jake Virtanen, especially if this thing doesn't get solved by the draft, which it should by then. Who knows? So yeah, Holtby, Myers, do you take Holtby? Do you take Holtby and put him back there with Khudobin and just have 2 solid goalies? I don't know. But for this sake, we're going to just say they take Jake Virtanen, but I don't see it happening. Not even through the allegations. I don't like the kid. I'm from BC. I'm not a Vancouver Canuck fan, but obviously 80% of my friends are Canuck fans, Not one of them can stand Virtanen. Even before this, they don't want him. Get him. 2 years ago, they were saying, get this kid out of here. He's lazy. He's straight up an ass. It's all about him. I don't know. I don't like him. Friends don't like him. Many people don't like him. Don't take him, Seattle. Whatever you do, do not take him. And now I don't see Holtby getting choked because the Capitals, they have to keep Samsonov, obviously, which is going to leave Oshie, Sprong, and Vanek. So this is a really hard name for a goalie. Vitek Vanasek, and that's who he has them being picked. He had a solid season this year, so yeah, 100% take them. You got the Winnipeg Jets, Burden, Kopp, DeMello, and this guy's been picking goalie Mikhail Burden. No, they're going to take Kopp if he's available after this season for sure. I don't know what this guy's been smoking, but they're going to take Andrew Kopp if he's available. This guy, they have him keeping Appleton over Kopp. I'm not sure if they're going to even do that now. But yeah, I think it would be Kopp. So at the end of the day, this is what the guy's projected lineup would be. The extras are going to be Pitlick, Gambrel, and Kukin. I agree with that. The goalies, backup Jake Allen, starter Anton Khudobin. And now if you put those two goalies on any other team, they're going to do all right. It's going to be a good, that'd be a 1-2 that you could trust. So yeah, it's smart for Seattle. I like that Anton Khudobin. I think 110% they get Khudobin. That's going to be your starting goalie. Defense, I'll start from the third pair, second pair, and then to the first pair. So the third pair is going to be Jones and Miller. I like to call a Miller pick. Veteran, smart. Miller Jones, that's a great third pairing for D. And then your second line with DeHaan and Graves, it's fine. First line, Brady Shea, Vince Dunn, both young. It's all right defense. It's probably not even the worst defense group in the NHL right here. Shea, Dunn, Graves, DeHaan, Jones, Miller. I think Detroit has worse defense than that. Possibly LA too, besides Doughty. And then you got your forwards, the fourth line being Zach Aston-Reese, Noel Akari, and Julian Gauthier. Put that fourth line on any team, they're going to be just fine. That might as well be Pittsburgh's fourth line right there. And yeah, it's going to be fine. Your third line, Andreas Johnson, Kerfoot, Virtanen. Even just scratch out Virtanen and stick another depth player in it. That's a fine third line. Kerfoot, Andreas Johansson, and Virtanen. That's a fine third line. Your second line, Jordan Greenway, Mikhail Backlund, and Josh Bailey. Good second line. That's a really good second line. First line being James Van Riemsdyk, Johansson, and Johnson. Not obviously they're not. You put them up against another first line, they're not a first line. That should be a team's second line. So in my opinion, Seattle's gonna have two second line pairings, but one's gonna have to play on the first line. So it's almost like a second line, third line, fourth line. They're just missing the all-star skill players of the first line that most teams have, like a Patrick Kane or something. But obviously, through drafting, you don't want Seattle just to go and win the cup, get to the finals like Vegas. A lot of people complained about that. But solid. I honestly don't even think they're going to be last place again. Before with Vegas, I was right away, they're going to be bottom 5. They're going to get some solid picks, and in 5 years, they're going to be solid. Well, they're now probably the scariest team in the league right now. And it's only been 3 or 4 years of Vegas. I don't see Seattle being last place at all with this team. Bottom 5, maybe just above the bottom 5, but yeah, I don't think this team's gonna make the playoffs, but it's gonna be a lot more solid than people put it out to be. Yeah, I kind of agree with these guys' picks, besides the Virtanen one. There it goes again. Yeah, that's really the only one I see that I don't 100% agree with. And since Logan Brown isn't even on the extras, maybe they take Zaitsev and kick out one of their defensemen, because Zaitsev isn't the worst. Put Zaitsev instead of Jones, Zaitsev and Miller as your third line pairing, that'd be alright too. And then, yeah, obviously if they didn't go Allen, you could have Khudobin, Holtby, in net, so you can't really go wrong. I think you take off Virtanen though for sure, and that's the only real 100% one that I don't think they're gonna take is Jake. But yeah, that's this guy's prediction, and I think it's gonna be damn close actually. Like there's a few where I think 110% that they're getting. Like for Pittsburgh, they're definitely taking Zach Aston Reese off us. Khudobin, I know 100% is gone. See you later, going. And then Brady Shea would be the smartest pickup I see out of here. And Josh Bailey. I think you could put Josh Bailey on that first line there. But yeah, that's going to be apparently what this guy thinks for the mock draft for the Seattle. Obviously, it's going to be different. They're going to choose stuff. There's going to be draft picks that change people's mind to choose someone else. But if this goes through, they get like... like if this all came true, they have a 3rd round pick, they have like 2 second round picks and 2 first round picks that they'll get for this year's draft, and they're already going to get a top 5 because they just instantly get thrown into that bottom mix. 3 first round picks in your first year, you can't complain with that. So yeah, I think you go for as many picks as you can, and that'd be the smartest route to go. I think they're going to be better than people put them out to be. Obviously, there's some people that are going to think they're going to be amazing. I don't think they're going to be amazing, but they're going to be good enough. And come on, that looks pretty darn good. That's a pretty darn good jersey right there. Obviously, you could always do better on your logo, well, except for some teams, but that's good enough for me. And I love the colors. That teal, I've always been a fan of teal, but with that red, it really meshes in well with just that red line. You didn't even need much red. It's a perfect amount of red with that blue and the teal, which is perfect. Also, my last video, I told you guys just behind here, that's what that little, I can't point on the camera. Right here, there's a little light that you see. That's a heat lamp for my gecko cage, which you see is right here. He is going to predict the NHL playoffs. Once it starts, obviously there's still teams being moved around. We don't know who's versing each other 100%. But just like the old monkey in the ball back in the day, my gecko is going to predict the entire playoffs of the NHL. 1st round, 2nd round, 3rd round, and the finals. So stay tuned for that. I think it's going to be great and awesome. And I might as well show you the culprit. Oh, he's actually moving back there, as you can see. Yeah, anywho, thanks for watching. Give me your opinion on what the Team Seattle might look like to you. And maybe I'll do my own mock draft because there was a couple that I don't agree with. And if I can go through the teams a little bit more and check it out, I might have more to do. But obviously the videos are going to keep coming. Filming this off my phone. Forgot that I have this good camera here. So maybe I'll do my next video off this and then I can get it straight to my laptop. Anywho, stay tuned. Me and Brandon have a lot of ideas coming up. Just like the gecko idea, which took me a minute to think of. So yeah, we're gonna have some crazy ideas coming up. We're gonna have more trivias. Pelland, a year ago when we were doing this, we did a trivia thing where Pelland was Brandon was versing my girlfriend in trivia, and they were both NHL. I think I can do all sports now, but I'd like to do a best of 7. Meg won the first one, Brandon won the second one. They're 1-1, so I want to see the first one to get 4 wins. Series tied 1-1, so I think trivia number 3 should definitely come out fairly quick here. And yeah, get ready because we're going to be doing podcasts at I think every Sunday, kind of recap the entire week of sports. And yeah, that's pretty well all. I'm Max. It's the UFL. Follow us on Instagram, Twitter. I think it's all just the UFL, but the Twitter is the UFL1. And yeah, follow us. Give us a like. Give us a dislike. Tell us what to do, give us ideas, up to you. Thanks, and have a good day.